The use of the internet is rapidly growing, and more than half of the world use smartphones, which just goes to show that we are in a digital age. In this world dominated by the internet and social media, how could we not be influenced by fictional stories devised by devious individuals who know nothing about the truth, yet claim that they do? In this era of sharing is caring, or spreading the word through retweeting, regramming, sharing, and etc., profuse amounts of individuals just mindlessly post things on social media because they feel like it is legitimate or that it aligns with their beliefs. These fabrications do not just affect us in a small scale, they affect us politically, economically, and even culturally. We are in a time of deceit, falsehood, and trickery. No, we are in even worse times. According to Ralph Keyes, we spin the truth, profess that we are exercising poor judgment, or simply misspeaking. Right now, we are in the state of post-truth. Post-truth is a stage where an emotional persuasion and personal belief has become the focus rather than actual facts or data. In this period, it's easy to cherry-pick data and come to whatever conclusion you desire. The early sightings of the word post-truth appeared in Steve Tessich's essay in a magazine called The Nation, which was published in the year 1992. Its usage pertains to a period where a particular idea has turned into something inapplicable or insignificant. This phenomenon is our fault because we, as a free people, have freely decided that we want to live in some post-truth world, complained Tessich. Nowadays, the word post-truth suddenly spiked up in the frequency of its usage in the year 2016 and was even considered as the word of the year in Oxford dictionaries. The global overview of social media users is 2.80 billion, which is around 37% of the whole population, whereas 2.56 billion people, or 34% of the population, use social media on their mobile devices. It was found that the Philippines topped all the other countries on the average time spent on the internet and the time spent on social media. This just goes to show that social media is a huge aspect of our lives and that it affects us through our lifestyle, ideas, perspectives, and many more. On a study done by Gottfried and Shearer, it was found that 64% of the Americans get their news on one site, 26% get their news on 2 sites, and only 10% get their news on 3 or more sites. This is probably why people usually get fake news. People tend to get lazy and not do further research on the article, and perhaps there may even be some people who just read the headline and not open the article at all. Nowadays, it is not enough to simply say, "What that person said is true," just because said individual is popular or spewing out information that seems legitimate. It's not automatically true just because a celebrity, politician, researcher, and etc. said it. The same thing applies to design, wherein one judges the reliability of information through its appealing photos, patterns, colors, and the like. Beautiful and appealing images are not always so true. A treasure is not just immediately found out in the open. One must dig it up under all the dirt. This is why we must gather as much resources as possible and dig out the real information. Visit forums and various websites so that a comparison can be made. We must always seek the truth for ourselves and define what is truly legitimate. Before you post on any social media platforms, think. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? It may take up more of your time, but by doing so, you can be a responsible member of society. Humans have always prospered by conquering his or her emotions in the constant quest for truth and knowledge. By curating these falsehoods, we may be able to focus on more productive things. As human beings who affect each other through the butterfly effect of actions that we make, it is our duty to be responsible enough to spread the truth and not be swayed by benign lies. The world is constantly changing. Are you willing to change as well?